Hi, College and Career Success. Welcome to Spring 2026. So this is a video I like to do at the beginning of every semester that just welcomes you to the course and also helps you navigate through our learning management system, which is called Brightspace. Depending on if you are brand new to the college or if you've been here for a little while, Brightspace is still fairly new to Stark State. So hopefully if you've been here in the fall, you're getting more accustomed to it. So I want to jump in, and the first thing I want to say is our course does not open until January 12th. So if you're watching this video from a link I sent you in an email, you probably won't be able to access the class quite yet unless you're watching this after the 12th. Also, you will need to complete the Succeeding Online Orientation, and so before you can even get this far, you will have to complete that orientation. It's a series of modules and it's going to walk you through Brightspace in general so that you could use it for any class that you're taking, whether it's face-to-face, completely online, Web 2. So if you can't access our course yet and it's after January 12th, that means you did not take that Succeeding Online Orientation. But let's say you're done, you're in, we're going to go ahead and walk through. So every time you log in, it's always going to bring you to like this course homepage where it's going to give you the most recent announcements. This was one from a previous semester, so you can kind of see just some basic information. If you needed Microsoft Office, there are some directions here. You could get, as a student, Microsoft Office package for free. So in our class, we do use Microsoft Word, and you can pull up PowerPoints. So I want to encourage you to download that if you do not have that on your device right now. When you go through here, most frequently, you will be spending time in the lessons area, although I will show you some of these other features as we go. All right, so in the lessons tab, this is where, again, you will probably direct most of your attention. When you get in here, you'll see two main folders, the Start Here folder and the Lessons folder. The Start Here folder is kind of what it sounds like. It's going to be just that introductory type material. Now, you'll find that you will use this less and less as the weeks go on. So I will encourage you, this is going to be your welcome video. So the video that you're watching right now is going to be embedded here. You can see that this is the one that I use for fall. I will replace it with the spring one here as soon as this video is done. There is a quick little course overview that just kind of tells you what to expect. Here is the instructor welcomes. This gives you a little bit of information about myself. You know, I've been here at the college for over 15 years now. I teach this class, student success, critical analysis. I have 3 kiddos, and so it just kind of gives you a little bit of my background. Right here is our syllabus. So I am going to walk you through this one just to make sure that you are comfortable with what to expect as we progress throughout the semester. So this first couple pages is just the master syllabus, which means every student gets something that looks pretty similar. Here we have the course description, the general learning outcomes, which this hits on just about everything in the class, course objectives. So we are going to basically talk about our responsibility with college and use methods to do all of these different things. So this class talks about time management, test taking, note taking, reliability, reading, listening, all of those things that take what it means to be a good student. Here are some general course policies, college policies that you could go to find out more information there. There is information on disability services. So if you had like a 504 or an IEP in K through 12, this is the office that could help you. They also do like short-term accommodations. So if you needed like a note taker or a scribe because you have an injury short-term. So they're a great resource for that type of stuff. Here's some basic computer usage info and some student success resources. One of the goals of this class to me is to make sure that you are aware of all the different resources that are available to you. So I also like to show you where this list is kind of a little bit more interactive. If we go to our Stark State homepage, at the top of the page under Info for current students, you will see a really comprehensive list of those resources and then some. So you can go through and kind of look and see, okay, like let's say you're interested in finding out more about disability support. You can click there and it's going to give you websites and contact information. So I encourage you to check those links out. Then underneath that, we really start getting into very specific information about our course. So we are College and Career Success. There are many students in here. This demonstrates that there are several sections, which means you may see upwards of about 100 of you or so interacting in here. We are completely online, which means we do not meet face-to-face. We also do not meet at the same time or day. This is not a course where everyone has to be online at the same time, although there are still time constraints on the work, and I'll get to that with the calendar. Again, my name is Dr. Remark. This is where my office is on campus, on main campus. So if you're ever here, you want to drop in and see me, I'm in E244. This is when I'm in my office, and I also hold virtual office hours. You can contact me through Brightspace Mail, which I will show you here in just a little bit, but also directly through my Starkday email, and there is my phone extension. We do have a textbook in here, but it is online and it is free, so that is great news. So here's how you're going to be graded throughout the semester. You do have chapters that you're going to go through, and every chapter has a quiz and a chapter assignment attached to it. And so you'll be kind of working through those that allow you to practice the skills and the concepts from each chapter. You're going to submit everything. Brightspace is my first preference just because it's all in one spot. But if for some reason something's not working or it's giving you a headache, you can send it to me via email attachment. Each chapter also has discussion forums where you need to respond, and they do need to be about 150 words. So the reason for that is because you will take classes here if you haven't already, such as your academic writing or college comp classes, where you have word minimums or maximums that you have to stay within. And so this is just giving you a little kind of intro to that. 150 words is approximately a paragraph, so it's not a terrible amount of writing. I also am pretty lenient. If you are a little under, I'm not going to mark off points, but as we go through the semester, if I notice that you're consistently under, like by 10 or more words, you might see some stuff kind of knocked off here and there. So you will respond to your original response with the prompt, and then you will also respond to 2 classmates in every forum. Attendance posts are due by Wednesday, so you need to post that original response by Wednesday to get your weekly attendance, and then you're responding to 2 classmates by Sunday. And it tells you your breakdown. Posting your original response is worth 5 points if you hit everything in the forum, and then it is the 2 responses are 2.5 points each. On weeks where you don't have a discussion post, you will need to post all your assignments by Sunday. So let's say there's a couple weeks in the semester where there is no discussion forum, and you will need to make sure that you submit your assignments by Sunday. So if there's like 2 assignments that week, if you only submit 1, you get half attendance. If you submit them both, you get full attendance. I also want to say, if you forget about an attendance post one week, if you post by Thursday, you can still get late attendance points. But it's just like a face-to-face class, where if you miss the actual physical class, like the due date, your attendance, you can't get that back. So you can still post late though, because you're almost getting graded twice with your attendance post with these discussion forums. You get graded on attendance, and then you get graded on the actual content of your post. So just if you miss a Wednesday, don't be like, oh my gosh, I'm done. Still post. We will cover approximately 1 chapter per week, although some weeks will be not chapter related. It'll be doing other things. You will also have a quiz from every chapter. There will be 5 questions, and it's short answer. And every question will have 2 to 5 complete sentences. And you can use the textbook as well as personal experiences or examples to answer the question. There is a career services and student services workshop that I will kind of walk you through as well. And here's the breakdown. You can see how many points are in the class based on what area. And this is a typical A, B, C, D, F class. All right, some general class policies. Again, all attendance posts are due Wednesday, and responding to 2 classmates is due by Sunday. Extra credit, not all the time, but there are some here and there. So just check your email, listen to my videos. I might sprinkle those in there. If you miss a Wednesday night attendance post, you can't make up those points. However, again, posting late can still get you a partial attendance. Can you miss, if you miss assignments, can you make it up? That's really just case by case if you have some kind of, doctor excuse or something like that. However, you will see that toward the end of the semester, around week like 13, I do start to reopen earlier weeks. Let's say in week 1, you were just really struggling with Brightspace. You couldn't get it down. But then by week 13, you're solid. I reopen week 1, and you can make those points up. So just pay attention for those announcements. We do have a textbook. Again, it's online and free. You submit your assignments through Brightspace, and there are no tests, but again, chapter quizzes. Okay, this is just some basic information on course materials, withdrawal dates. This is a 16-week course, so you have until the 13th of April to take this off your schedule. Let's say you're not doing well, or work has picked up and you just cannot continue in this class or any 16-week class. You want to make sure you withdraw by the 13th, Monday, April 13th. Okay, So here underneath is the calendar, and I've done my best to kind of plan the entire semester. You can see when everything is due in each week and how many points each assignment is worth. So even though we are not meeting, on the same day and time through Zoom or anything like that, you still have to get your assignments done within each weekly format. So week 1 runs from January 12th through 18th. After that, the week is closed. It opens up week 2 on the next day. So you want to make sure that you're getting your assignments done in that week. So again, if you have a discussion forum, those are due Wednesday night, and I put that in red just to make it stand out a little bit. So you can see most weeks after we get a little bit more into the semester has a discussion, an assignment, and a quiz. The first couple weeks have a little bit more because you're getting acclimated to things and a couple little assignments here and there. So just make sure you take a look through. I definitely recommend you saving the syllabus and possibly even printing it, at the very least printing the calendar, or having some other kind of device if you have a hard copy planner or you use a planner on your phone, something like that. I encourage you to write down your assignments just so you know when they are coming due. All right, so as we go down here, you're going to see the required textbook link. So you'll click open link in each tab here, and it opens up to your textbook. I think our textbook is actually really user-friendly. So when you go here, you have your table of contents. You can also collapse it. But you have your table of contents, and it walks you through, and you can kind of click the different sections, or as you read through, when you get to the bottom of each page, you click next. This textbook will also be embedded in every single week. So whatever week we're covering, like week 3, we're covering chapter 2 or whatever, there'll be a link inside that week as well to take you directly to the chapter we're focusing on, although you can always also go right there to access it. So when I go through, and I'll talk to you about the lectures, when I go through, I do not expect you to read this textbook word for word. What I do want you to do is spend time on something that is going to be beneficial to you. So let's talk about, maybe we're in chapter 3 talking about time and priorities. You're like, hey, I'm really good with goal setting. I might just kind of breeze through that section, but man, I struggle with procrastination. So I would encourage you to spend more time on that section in particular. All right, there's a couple other just resources here, Brightspace student website, some general expectations. It just has, I do try to grade fairly quickly. The general policy is within 7 days. I try to get it done the day you submit it, if not by the next day. So I do try to get you feedback really quickly so you can have your grades updated. There's another office hour right there. And just some more general information about help desk and things like that. All right, there's some netiquette guidelines, and again, just some general student policies. Let's go and take a look at the lessons. This is where you're going to spend a majority of your time. So there's another link to your textbook access. You do have a student services assignment. This is due in week 16. You can see I have a video right here. It's hidden when you access it because this is my fall video. As soon as the spring schedule is updated, you can see September right there. As soon as they have the spring schedule updated, I will create a video separately. I just want you to know right away that you have a student services assignment due by the end of the semester. This means before the end of our term, you have to attend a workshop or a student life event. And the workshops are very flexible. They have morning, afternoon, evening, face-to-face, online, and they have a wide range of topics. And so I really do encourage you to take a look at that when they become available. Again, I'll have the video there when it's ready. Take a look at that when they become available and register early on, maybe even register for 2 so you have a potential backup if your first one falls through. But I will talk to you more about this. I just want to put that in your head now that you have a workshop you have to attend by the end of the semester. As you go through here, you can see that I have all the folders ready to go with the dates that they will open. And every week we'll have 2 folders. It'll have the video folder and it'll have the actual content folder. So every week, I'm just going to click on week 2, for example, you will have a lecture video, which is going to be just kind of what it sounds like. It is going to go through the content, the chapter, the material, and you can see some of it was embedded in Blackboard, but the content is still very current. But it'll go through just all of that information regarding whatever chapter we're in. So I encourage you to either spend time listening to the video, reading the textbook, looking at the PowerPoint, something so you're engaging in that material. Then every week we'll also have an assignment video, which is going to walk you through the assignments that are due that week, okay, so that you know exactly what you're supposed to be completing and when you're supposed to be completing it. You also have the actual folder, which is going to have like a snapshot of like, hey, this is what we're doing this week. And it tells you exactly what to do, what's coming up, materials to read. You'll have a materials folder, which is just what it sounds like, a link to the textbook we're in, maybe some slides, a couple of resources. So you want to peruse through those as much or as little as you need. And then you'll have the actual assignment folder, which is this is the work you're going to complete. And this, again, I walk through with you in those assignment videos so you know exactly how to complete your assignments every week. So I'll go through and kind of share that information with you. Okay, so I really encourage you to just get familiar with how to navigate through, maybe click around, get comfortable with making sure that you know how this is going to work. All right, so that is kind of the main area in the lessons area. I'm going to look up here. We also have a calendar. So I showed you the syllabus has a calendar attached on the last page, but we also then have a calendar that you can access electronically here in Brightspace, and it is going to show you exactly when everything is due. And it will probably, I believe Brightspace automatically generates like, hey, don't forget, this is coming up. I also tend to send reminders, usually around Thursday of each week, saying, hey, don't forget, if you haven't completed this, this is coming up due. So this is just a nice other interactive calendar. You also can constantly be in contact with your grades. So when you click on the grades area, you will eventually see, because the semester hasn't started yet, I'm not going to see anything. You guys, some of your names are in there, but there's no grades yet. So you can go through and see how you're doing on every assignment and just make sure that you have things turned in. There are some assignments that Brightspace grades automatically, but for the most part, I grade manually, but you can just always double check and make sure that if you submitted assignment, did it go through? Did I get it? You also have some resources here you can look through. There's some things you can click on, some general information, and then I have a longer list here than you will as a faculty member, but the announcements, again, I just want to draw attention to these. I have your week 1 announcements already loaded, ready to go in here. So I will constantly, I don't want to say constantly, but the first week I take in a lot of effort to stay in contact, but every week you'll have anywhere from like 2 to 3 announcements that are walking you through like, hey, this is what's coming up, this is what you need to do. And that'll also, be in there for the entire week so you can go back and reference it. Okay, something else I want to make sure you know how to do is message me. So if you go up here to where it says messages, looks like an envelope, you'll click on email. You'll go to add. I will usually BCC if I'm emailing several of you, but you can go to 2. And this will list anyone in our class. So you'll go down to find me. And again, this is not the whole list by any means. You'll find me. If you need to message me, click it and hit add recipients, put your subject, put your body, and then hit send. And that'll go right to my email address. And then I respond to you from my email and it goes to your email. There's no messaging system directly inside Brightspace. There's no like inbox, sent box, that type of thing. All right, so that is a lot of just the general course navigation that I want to make sure that you are aware of. So again, I encourage you to really click around, pay attention, get used to it, and then whenever you're ready, depending on when you're watching this, you will want to jump in to get your week 1 information ready. And week 1 will have its own set of videos that'll walk you through the assignments and what to expect. But please feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions, and I hope you have a great semester.